Hey everybody, so this is going to be an explanation for the BIA, or the body impedance analysis. The machine we use is called a body composition machine, and it's going to break your body down into different categories so we can understand better how to help you get healthy. So you're going to have this printout once we do the test on you. You may not be able to read this now, and that's okay. But basically it's going to break into different parts. The first one is called the phase angle. So as we talked about, the cell is made up of 2 layers of oils, and then if something were to be able to go directly into the cell, that's one angle, not a very good one because it makes the cell very vulnerable. But if it has to work its way in this way, that's a very, very strong cell, and that's a high phase angle. So the phase angle for women should be between 7 and 8, and for men 8 to 9. So you can look on your chart that says phase angle, and that will let us know how healthy your cells are. Also indicates inflammation around the cells, or toxic cells. Talks about the cells that have the receptor-sized blocks so the hormones can't communicate to the cells. As we move down, we're going to talk about body cell mass. So the body cell mass talks about all of the living part of your body, all the cells, all 72 trillion of them. And then the extracellular mass. So extracellular mass would be everything outside of the cell. So if you think about a car with a motor, the motor would be the power plant of the car. That's called the body cell mass in the body. The fenders, the bumpers, the seats, the cushions, those are all extracellular mass. So it should be 40-40. So 40% should be body cell mass and 40% should be extracellular mass. It could be stronger on the body cell mass, but we want it to be no less than 40 for the power of the body. And then so those make up one great part, the lean body mass. The other part is the fat mass, and fat mass is where toxins are stored. They're around fats around our organs. It's under our skin, and this is should not be over 20%. Actually, it should be lower, but 20% is like considered somewhat of a norm. But remember that the toxins come into the cells and they get stored in the fat. So we want to lower this fat mass, and the indication of the phase angle and the fat mass is going to tell us how toxic you are. Moving down, the next thing is the basal metabolic rate. So the basal metabolic rate is how many calories your body burns at rest. So if you think of a car idling all day for 24 hours in the driveway, it's going to burn X amount of fuel. Tomorrow it's going to burn the same amount, and the day after the same amount. That's the basal metabolic gasoline consumption of your car. So if you're lying in bed doing nothing, the basal metabolic rate is the amount of calories your body burns in a 24-hour period. So this is going to calculate that for you. The last two columns are extracellular mass and intracellular mass. Your cells you should have 60% of the water in your cells and 40% out. What happens when you have a toxic, inflamed environment with molds, bacteria, heavy metals, and just inflammation in the outside of the cells? In order to protect your body, water is sucked out of the cells, just like if you put salt on a lemon slice. Salt's going to suck the juice out of the lemon little things, right? So when you're toxic, your body sucks the water out of your cells. When the cells are dehydrated, they don't operate as well when they're dehydrated, and the genes have a problem functioning correctly. You can get bad genes turned on, and this is because there's also toxins inside the cell from the power plant that we talked about the other night, the mitochondria, burning either ketones, which are fat, which burn pretty cleanly, but the glucose, which comes from carbohydrates and protein, burn very smokily and toxic. So all those things together are going to give us a health index. So again, phase angle, health of the cell; body cell mass, the motor in your car; extracellular mass, the chassis, seats, bumpers; fat mass, we just call that the junk in the trunk. So the fat's the junk in the trunk. We want to get rid of it. We want to learn how to burn it because it's stored fuel. And then the water cell, the intercellular and extracellular water. So that's about it. And so We're just going to go over this. Watch this video a couple times while you're looking at your handout that we gave you of your test. And then when you come in, we can answer some questions. Thanks a lot. Have a good day.